Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Thursday, December the 14th. The year is 2023. Let's talk trading. Change, part 4. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Okay, we've been talking about change now for about the past week, and if you think about it, all the videos that we talk about trading psychology or just psychology in general have to do with change. And the thing is, a lot of people know they need to change, but for whatever reason, they struggle with it. So part of the reason they struggle with it is because of their thoughts and beliefs. If you're trading and you're not trading well, in other words, you're not making money, you're losing money, there's a belief that you have that's causing that to happen. It could be a belief about what prices should be doing or is going to do. But for whatever reason, you're not seeing what price is doing. You know, there's a saying out there, if you want to change the world, you got to change your thoughts about the world. You know, if you aren't looking for something, perhaps you don't see it. And that's what happens in the market. In fact, I even caught myself doing that this morning. I've kind of gone real old school in trading, in the sense that I was looking at the previous candle's midpoint and using that for a trigger. And if you're wondering, it's like, Rumpled One, you tell us to stick with one thing, but you do a lot of things different. But you have to understand a couple of things about me. One, I like, finding ways to beat the system. And two, most of my ways are statistically based, and they usually involve a horizontal line. So I am doing what I would consider minor tweaks, as opposed to, oh, I'm going to trade this system today. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to put this new indicator on, and then I'm going to trade this other system using this other new indicator. So, it's okay to do minor tweaks if you want to, improve your trading. And one of the things I've talked about before is inflection points. And what I'm working on is making a little bit better entries so I don't get inflected. And I was looking for a short signal as opposed to just taking the long signal. And I caught myself doing that. It was like, oh, there you go, right there. And you might be able to catch yourself doing something similar, where you have a certain belief and then you look for things to confirm that belief. So I believe that the price is going to go down, and in fact price was going up. Let me see. I don't know if I can show you the exact location where that happened. Oh, and actually, it was really something that was funny. Right before the news dropped, you had this big down bar, and I was thinking at the time price should go up, and you can see here it has gone up from that point, but they just took it down a little bit further first time. I think it was right here. I was looking for a short in this area right here, and price had closed above the previous midpoint. Now I can just see that looking at that candle. I don't know if any of these charts have, these are all indicator 2 dots. But I was looking for that. And then here we did have price closing below, but as you can see, that short only gave just a couple of pips. So right here on this candle, this confirmed my idea that price was going to go up, but when it went down, I was thinking, hey, this thing just dropped. It's probably, it went to the 75. It's probably going to go back. But you see, that's thinking. And I always tell people, trade what you see, not what you think. But, you know, sometimes I am suspect to that thinking, as opposed to just saying, oh, well, you know, price closed above the midpoint, go long. Price closed below the previous midpoint, go short. You can do the same thing with indicator 2. I mean, right here, we have price closed above it. You could have taken that long, and you would have had a little drawdown, and say, hey, here's another opportunity, and then you would have had 2 taking some drawdown. But you can see here on this third time, it kind of say, okay, maybe 3's a charm. You can see here we ranged, we broke out of this little range right here, and then it's just been blue dots the whole way. And then the other thing about it is you want to change in the sense that if you find yourself getting out too soon, once again, that's fear-based, and because you have a belief that the price is going to turn around on you. In fact, I had placed a bet on Cardano, ADA in the cryptos. This was one of those ones. I had already bought a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum, and then one of my Bitcoin, I don't know if I can't really say trading buddies, because I really don't trade it. To me, it's more like a lotto ticket. And so I bought a Cardano lotto ticket, and I think I paid 26 cents or 27 cents at the time. Based on, he says, oh, this is going to do it. And I said, you know what the heck, you know, I'm just going to buy the little lotto ticket and see what happens. Well, it went from 26 or 27 down to 24, and it just stayed there forever. And I'm like, oh, see that? But then I thought, you know, it's a lotto ticket, you never know. Well, it hit 66 this morning, so that's more than a double. And actually, I remember when it hit 30, I think it stalled, and I was so ready to dump out. I said, nope, because that would have been about a 10% gain. I said, no, this is a lotto ticket. Just leave it alone. And so then what I watched it go up to 40, and then it pulled back, and I was thinking, oh, I should have sold at 40. Then I just told myself, no, this is a lotto ticket, leave it alone. Then it hit 62 last week, I believe, and then it pulled back down to about 57. I'm thinking, darn, I should have sold. It's like, no, leave it alone, it's a lotto ticket. And so I have to override my instinct to sell, to take profit, when the whole idea is this is a lotto ticket. You know, this is something that you want to have a really big win. You know, so for example, here, just trading a pound on M1, you say, okay, I'm going to get in long, and I'm going to stay in this trade until price closes below indicator 2 and turns magenta. So right here, this is, if this bar closes and this is magenta, this is where you get out. And so let's just see. We got 45 seconds left here. And the thing is, it's really tough to see price. You've already pulled back about 5 or so pips. But, that's that little short-term attitude that we have, and it works against us. So, what's your belief? You believe that indicator 2 isn't going to steer you wrong. And say, just believe that, hey, you know what, if I stay in this trade, it could really, really, really pay off. I mean, okay, it just closed below. So right there, you're out. And that from what? Somewhere around 90 you got long, 90 to 30, that's 40 pips. I mean, that's enough pips for anybody for one day. I mean, really. But you have to, have a belief system that says, I know that if I trust indicator 2 or, indicator X or system Y, that I might lose on any one particular trade, but, over the next 100 trades, I'm going to come out ahead. And that's just the attitude. That's the belief you have to have, as opposed to the other beliefs like, ooh, I better do this because, I'm unlucky, or I'm this, or I'm that. And so what had happened was, if you would have thought right there, if you would have been mad, see, I should have stayed in the trade or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's coming back down. Now you're glad to get out. And that's the mental roller coaster. You got to get off that roller coaster. You have to stop doing that to yourself, because that's what's really one of the things that's messing you up, is that roller coaster. So you can see here, you had that price do that. Now, if you had taken that short, because Jimmy, you just reversed, you see, you would have had a little heat, then it came back down, put in a one ball. One of my rules is, I see a one ball like that, I get out. But I kind of modified it. I mean, if you look here, from M15 up, it's all green. So you see that one ball against that tide of green, you can get out. Now here's another opportunity. You could go short here, but you'd be really swimming against that tide. But here's the thing. This is where it really gets tricky. Sometimes you have to pick one thing. And so if you're looking at a bunch of other stuff as opposed to just one thing, it can wind up working against you, because it can negate you doing what you're supposed to do. So if you're just using the indicator 2 as your trigger, as your guide, and that looking at a bunch of other stuff can go against you, because your instincts are going to tell you one thing, whereas the chart is telling you something totally different. So, fellow traders, boy, that was a pretty fast 15 minutes. It really went by quick. Like I said, this subject of change, it really is, you looking in the mirror, and seeing what you're doing that's working against you. And sometimes it's just one thing. And one thing could be the difference between, lots of losses to, a few wins where you're actually moving forward. You're actually making profit, as opposed to giving your money, giving the profit back and then some. So see if you can find that one little thing you may need to do. It could be as simple as saying, you know what, if my losses were 5 pips instead of 10 pips, I'd be much better off. So just start taking those 5 pip stops, and you might stop out a bunch, but then all of a sudden you notice overall you're winning. Because, fellow traders, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.